right. It's your old pal Jizzo, back behind the wheel for another YouTube video. We just got back from the UK for my Love Hate band, and I got a little bit of time off from QR. So I thought I would return to the YouTube channel and get down to some serious shit talking. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Now, I saw some recent clips of the Power Trip Festival. Big show, big names, good bands. On first listen, Iron Maiden, I thought Bruce Dickinson sounded really good. He's about the same age as I am, so I thought he sounded really good. He sounded like Bruce. He sounded like he should. Not quarter Bruce, not half Bruce, full Bruce. AC/DC. I thought Brian Johnson did an admirable job. He's 77, for fuck's sake, 77. And he's up there singing those songs live, mind you. 5 of those songs I call Murderer's Row. Back in Black, Shoot to Thrill, Hell's Bells, Thunderstruck, and the Encore for those about to rock. Those songs are always motherfuckers to sing. Never easy. And he was up there doing it. Now, some of my friends were there at the Power Trip Festival in the crowd, and they all thought Brian sounded amazing. But you know those YouTubes, those creepy YouTubes, places you under that special, awful kind of microscope. Every note, every nuance judged, scrutinized, no escape, no quarter. The reality of 2023. 10,000 phones, 100,000 captures. Anyway, it got me thinking. How many famous singers out there are slowly approaching the time when they just can't do it anymore? And are they realizing it? I mean, I think about it. All singers have to face this inevitability as they get older that one day we won't be able to sing our own music anymore. Can you extend your singing life and keep going? Well, that's where your old pal Jizzo comes in. Art of Singing, Part 6. Now, most of my Love Hate fans were in their teens when my first record came out, Blackout in the Red Room. So that would place them in their 50s now-ish. A lot of my peers in the music business are in their 60s like me, still singing, still performing. Some are in their 70s, like Brian Johnson, like Mickey Thomas from Starship. How do singers do it? How do bands like mine do these weekend flyout shows with no sleep and all that travel and still hit all those high notes? Well, some do it with tracks. Every time I do a gig nowadays, the sound engineer will normally just ask me, well, where are your tracks? As if it were a necessary part of the live show. Where are your tracks? Let's plug in your tracks. Let's hook up that laptop, your fifth member, so to speak. It's funny, talking about tracks has become an uncomfortable subject. People don't want to hear about it these days. Tracks are just sort of accepted, like those creepy Facebook beauty apps. You've seen those women. Look at me, I'm beautiful. These days, it's normal to not only not sing your background vocals, but to not even play your instruments. I mean, it sure makes it easier to jump around on stage when you don't have to, master all those pesky chords on your guitar. I recently saw this at Hard Rock Hell. Amazing, energetic show from a band, but the band not really playing or singing. Then the laptop broke down. And out came all the weird rehearsed stage banter. Hey, how's it going? How's it going out there? Them looking over their shoulder, with the roadies furtively trying to plug in and unplug the little cables, figure out what the fuck's wrong. And then they finally patched in the right cable. Ta-da! Success. Well, we're going to cut a few songs for you people right now. Yeah, just click, 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 click. And not only did anyone know, but nobody cared. I thought, this is live music in 2023. Old school meets new school. Singing from my heart versus cold, emotionless bullshit tape. What a fucking joke. I know some singers who are currently leaning on tracks. Leaning. Maybe not the whole song, but some of the high notes and the choruses. They'll sing the verses, and then when the chorus kicks in, they get a little help from the cloud. I won't say who's doing it, but there's a lot of it going on. Sometimes subtle and sometimes just blatant. And like I said, from what I've seen from the comments on the internet, it seems that most people don't really care if the singer is singing anymore or if the singer is using backing tracks. It doesn't matter. What used to be a career killer in Ashlee Simpson's case, or a major TMZ embarrassment like Cardi B, is now just an accepted reality. I don't know. Backing tracks are like Viagra. If you need them to then by all means use them. But if you don't. I'd feel funny having a lead vocal track piped in. I'd feel weird, like a parody of myself, like the Boogie Nights. I've seen some very blatant tracking. I've seen a hired gun singer singing over a lead vocal of a guy in a band who hasn't been in the band for 20 years. But there he was. He was back. He was back in the band, just magically helping out, magically resurrected. And the YouTube comments, they don't reflect this. They're just gushing. This is the best the band has ever sounded. Really? Really? The public either doesn't know or doesn't care. And if you bring it up, you're a dick. So for the purposes of this video, we'll talk about the people that do care, that want to keep going, that want to keep trying, that want to keep singing as long as they can. Big difference. I do music for a living. I have to give a shit. If I lose my voice, then 4 guys don't get paid. So I have to take it seriously. If you're just a guy playing in a local bar band at the bar, it's not really as stressful. You know, if you flub a part on a song, you can just kind of laugh about it. Or if you can't hit a few high notes that night, you just skip that song altogether. No worries. Guys like me don't have that luxury. I direct people to my Art of Singing series on this channel. There are lots of tips and techniques for singers, both beginners and professionals. It's stuff I've learned from 30 years of touring on the road. Real life experience, not YouTube so-called vocal teachers preaching from the warmth and the safety of their man cave. You know, vocal teachers, vocal lessons, they have their place, I guess. But you know what? As for me, put a guy on the road for 3 weeks and believe me, he'll get the equivalent of a year's worth of vocal lessons. Vocal lessons, in my opinion, aren't something you want to do forever. You want to learn the basics, breath control, ear training, diaphragmatic breathing, then go join a band and it all up. Learn all the other 1,001 things you need to know how to survive in a band. Learn how to be in a band. Learn how to write a song, how to survive the business part of it. And maybe someday, possibly, you'll make some money for your efforts. Hopefully. As I said before, the basics, breath control, running to get your cardio, sit-ups to strengthen your stomach and your diaphragm. All these things I cover in my Art of Singing series. And trust me, all these things become even more important as you get older because you're fucking old now and you don't have that natural six-pack you had when you were 30 years old. I hate that part of it the most, I guess, the upkeep, having to do it. What used to be simple maintenance is now sort of a painful necessity if you want to stay in the game. And you do want to stay in the game. You can do it organically. For example, as you get older, you can tune your songs down if you have to. If you're an E flat, you tune down to D. It makes those high notes, a little easier to sing. If you're writing songs, you can just adjust your vocal melodies down like what Rush did. That was a smart move on their part. Or you can just say, F it, Jizzo, I don't want to be some Hindu yoga sit-up guy. I want to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy my golden years singing. I get it. I get it. And your fans will probably still love you if you gain a few pounds, but it may impact your singing ability. And there begins the slippery slope, the downward spiral that leads to tuning down, to skipping high notes, to using tracks, to becoming a karaoke guy. Kaboom! I shouldn't have to say this, but drinking hits you harder as you get older. I shouldn't have to say this. It's obvious. You know it's true. You want to be sharp on stage. You want to hit your mark. You want to hit all those notes. So you gotta stop getting drunk on stage. You just have to. And once again, if you don't really care, that's on you. There's plenty of examples out there on the internet. You know of whom I speak. When those 1,000 phones come out, and they will, it's those guys with that weird contempt for the audience. The ones that say, you guys having a good time out there? Well, I'll fix that. I don't know. Karma, blowback, mockery, that. I'd be mortified. I wouldn't want to deal with it. I wouldn't want to see it. So for the love of music and your health and my health and peace of mind, don't drink anymore. Believe me, I'm the guy that's telling you, don't drink, because I've drank bucket loads, boatloads of booze, but now I don't, and I know it makes me a better singer. Of course it does. YouTubes don't lie. If you want to lose weight, you got to diet. If you want to sing better, as you get older, you have to take it seriously, or else. If you're a lead singer and you can't sing without a full 8 hours sleep every night, then doing fly-out shows like I do is not for you, brother. I'm telling you this right now. If you're an aspiring singer and you want to join a Warrant or a Slaughter or a Great White, then these are the realities you will have to face doing these weekend fly-out shows. Get on a plane for a 6 a.m. flight to Wichita. You play the show that night, then you got to get up at 4 a.m. the next morning to catch another early flight to the next show. You get there, you sound check, you play the show, and then you got to get up at the next morning, say at 3:30 a.m. to catch another early flight to the next show. It isn't fun, ma'am. It's not glamorous, but it's a fact of life. For all the Warrants and the Slaughters and the Quiet Riots and the Great Whites and the Vixens, we all have to do it. You ask, why do you guys have to fly so early? Well, you generally only have a few flight options at the smaller regional airports, and catching the earlier flight means that you'll probably make the next connecting flight to the next city. Oh, and throw in the obligatory van ride to the casino or the fairground. Could be an hour's ride, could be 2 hours. This mode of travel is, of course, hardest on the lead singer, because any dead tired guitar player can still plug in and play, but if you're the singer, you're expected to be at the top of your game. Sleep or no sleep. Sometimes I don't get any sleep at all. I'm so wound up from that night's gig that I just kind of lay there knowing that 4 a.m. is only a few hours away. I'm just keeping it real, man. Just keeping it real. If you can't hang with the schedule, then you won't last. You'll get sick, or you'll blow out your voice, or you get pissed off. You'll be fucked. And the band is fucked right there with you, from rock and roll to spoken word. I say this to all the aspiring singers out there who watch my videos or other people's videos, and they say to themselves, I could do that guy's job. Well, maybe you can, and maybe you can't. Most likely, you can't. Go out on the road for a few weeks, playing clubs, play 4 or 5 shows in a row with no sleep, and see how you hold up. Bar food, no sleep, sitting in a van, 7 hours a day, driving from show to show. A lot of singers have very delicate voices, and they just can't hang with the smoke and the airports and the no sleep. They just can't hang. Then guess what?
You lose!
And you won't get any sympathy from your band, trust me. They don't know what you're going through, and they don't care. And the public doesn't care. They don't want to hear your troubles. They paid good money, and they want to hear the hits. You gotta suck it up, Buttercup. Don't complain. grab an hour's sleep here and there on plane flights, go easy at sound check, don't talk a lot during the day to save your voice. I'm not bitching, I'm just giving you the facts. Singing is a responsibility at this level, not a luxury, and it does get harder as you get older. Hence the importance of doing the upkeep. Do the work so you can stay in the game. That means vitamins, immune system, cleanliness, not talking all day and night like a teenager. It's a real thing, man. And you have to take it seriously or Father Time will sledgehammer you. Kaboom! You know, in the old days, I could do those old school Robert Plant screams all day. The full voice screams or those crazy falsetto screams. I had lungs for days. I could push air like a motherfucker because I had lungs. But that was then when I was a kid. I'm older now, so I have to make some changes in how I sing. First thing, get in-ear monitors, bro. You're a fool if you're a singer and you don't use in-ear monitors. Back in the day, I could outshout multiple stacks of Marshall cabinets, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to do what I do comfortably and do it for the 75 minutes I have to. No tricks and no tracks. Also, try this technique. I've spoken about it before, but it's a cool thing to have. Instead of pushing out when you sing, pull in, tighten your stomach and pull in on a high notes. It sounds weird and it sounds unnatural, but you just have to master the technique. Check this out. This is how it works. I've spoken about this before, but it's a really good trick for singers. Instead of pushing out, you pull in. You tighten your stomach and on the high notes and you pull in. Hey, mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. The high note. Make you sweat. I'm not pushing, I'm kind of pulling in and tightening my stomach. So I'm still hitting the note, but I'm not blowing air. Let's try Tumbleweed. Oh, I'm tumbling, I'm tumbleweed. I bet she got her harmonic up there, yeah. I'm pulling in, not pushing out. Are you women who want a man on the street, but you don't know which way you want to turn? Just keep it coming. And put your head under me, 'cause I'm the one who's gonna make you burn. I'm gonna take you down, yeah, down. So don't you fool around. I gotta pull the trigger. All those high notes are done by sucking in, tightening your stomach, and pulling in. By pulling in, you can still hit the high notes, but you're saving your energy. You're maybe using 30% instead of 80%. And that means you'll have enough gas in your tank to finish your gig with flying colors. Even the encores, 2 shows, 3 shows, 4 shows in a row. You have to think along these lines if you want to be a pro singer, or if you're already a pro singer, but you're having vocal issues. If you don't do this, you'll just keep blowing your voice out time after time, and then you'll get fired. Or, God forbid, you'll have to have surgery on your throat. And that is unacceptable in 2023. Trust me, those high notes are important. People want to hear them. I want to hear them. So you have to care. You have to give a shit. I've said it before. All you have is your last show. There's no more record royalties. Spotify is a joke. So all you have at the end of the day is control of your own performance. Your time on stage. What you make of it is up to you. Strive for excellence or throw it all away. Anyway, your choice. So that's it. It's your old pal Jizzo, rockin' and rollin'. We'll see you next time.